if it could have landed on all four wheels, he'd have been all right. He could have went out and run some more.
And it might have helped the car after he turned over.
Sunday night, a week ago, he was out of it. Sunday night, this past week, he's the leader.
Unreal.
How does that happen?
I don't know, but I guess we could draw back on some of your things and say, how did this happen?
Some of it happens good, some of it bad.
Like the 79 race at Daytona, that was pretty big too, but you still won it.
Once you make your lap up, you got all that time to change tires and make arrangements. They left the dadgum tire loose. All right, we're back from Vegas, right?
You are. I stayed at home.
You done good. You know, it's one of those deals where when the race first started, it was a typical NASCAR race. You know, the 20 was a clash of the field. The 54 was pretty dadgum good till he wrecked. I mean,
45.
They're 45. Yeah, okay, 45. Okay, and he would have been probably competition later on in the race. And then the 24 and the 48, they just ran off and left everybody else. They got separated a whole lot, but you know, and then it just settled down. And really, you know, I didn't see a whole lot of racing because all cars run the same speed. But then it wound up being really interesting there at last. And I hate to see races like this where it comes down to some people stop, some people don't.
2 tires, 4 tires.
Yeah, but everybody was doing their own strategy deal, and it happened to work out for the 22 car. And the 22 car was probably an 8th and 10th place car, you know, if everything had played out. The 99, who wound up third by staying out, he was probably a 10th or 12th place car. They were not even in the race until, of course, the 99 stayed out one time and led a bunch of laps because he stayed out on fuel. And so their strategy was really good because they wasn't capable of really racing and winning the race. But then, you know, the 20 car, 23 seconds behind or whatever, and he caught up, and by the time he caught up, then the 22 was just about as quick as he was. He done used his tires and stuff.
Yeah, but the 22 had the 12 behind him for defense too, but that didn't play into it.
It didn't play into it because the 20 never got close.
Never got close enough.
Never got close to the 2 car. You know.
But you know, it was one of them races, Richard, and of course you've done it before too. If the leader was beating you, you've got to do something different.
Well, you got to do something
and
to beat him.
There's more choices now than there used to be on account of the stages, the lucky dogs. Strategy is, it's just the crew chief. I keep repeating myself on this thing, but the crew chiefs and the engineers are really smarter than the rules right now, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And
but you know, they do all that figuring, and you're figuring one way and I'm figuring another way, and it winds up that one of us beat the other one, even though we may be even. And so the strategy really, like you said, track position is all important also.
It's very important.
You know what I mean? And that's where the 45 got in trouble right after that restart. The 19 come up a little bit on the 9 car. The 9 car really touched the 45 car and put him in the wall. You know, but he would have been all right when that thing landed. It landed on the left front.
Yeah.
But if it could have landed on all 4 wheels, he'd have been all right. He could have went out and run some more.
And it might have helped the car after he turned over. But but you know, getting back to that wreck, Richard, it was a restart,
right?
And everybody had new tires. It was amazing that they lost control of the car. I thought they still. I didn't think they hit that hard to really cause that big a wreck.
When the 45 hit the wall, he hit it hard, and that he came back really, really quick.
Yeah.
Hit the 9.
I know they didn't do it on purpose, but it looked like maybe it shouldn't have happened. But Richard, you know,
see, the 12 car was way back there in the back, and somebody hit him and eliminated him.
Yeah,
because he would have been a pretty good competitor.
We say that, but it never did show up, you know, because he got eliminated early. But I don't believe I've seen that many mistakes on pit road before in a long time, Richard.
Well, everybody's doing their strategy. They're hearing that thing up. And one of the things that really bothered me was the 43 car.
Oh boy!
You know, he got lapped. Okay, and when they had that first caution, they, he was able to be the lucky dog. He made his lap up, and then you got, once you make your lap up, you got all that time to change tires and make arrangements. They left the dadgum tire loose.
And on the right side, Richard.
You know what I mean? And it just, he was a decent car. He was a top 10 car. But, he never did be able to show the thing. But
yeah.
He come on in the crowd pretty good, and he ran decent, but he was still.
And he run in the lucky dog spot. I mean, we're certainly talking about the 43 car. Of course, it's home for us, and and he run in the lucky dog spot, but the cautions didn't fall.
They went
just
for a long
exactly
time,
right.
yeah.
But
the 42 car, he just sort of just stayed out there and just kept trucking along, and then their strategy at the end of the race was not to stop, and that led him. He went from probably a 18th place car or something like that to 9th place car.
9th place, and that's I don't know what you years ago. If you didn't win, it wasn't a good finish. You know what I mean? But now I don't know what to count a good finish. But the 40.
I think they're looking, if you're in the top 10, it's a good finish.
Yeah, I'm sure of that. But the 22, you got to give him credit, Richard. I mean, he drives hard. And
they done everything they needed to do.
But they've done it before too,
yeah.
Richard.
This is the third or fourth race I know that he's won because of gas deal. And no, the very first race he won was in New Hampshire, and he was a 25th place car. And I think
that is on fuel mileage.
And he wound up winning. And I guess running a race at Tennessee, and he done the same thing.
I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, but if he was to win the championship, and he's in the driver's seat right now because he's locked into the Final Four, you might say that another manufacturing company gave him the race.
Yep.
Or give him a chance for the championship.
Sunday night, a week ago, he was out of it. Sunday night, this past week, he's the leader.
Unreal.
How does that happen?
I don't know, but I guess we could draw back on some of your things and say, how did this happen?
Some of it happens good, some of it bad.
Like the 79 race at Daytona, that was pretty big too, but you still won it. Okay, Homestead this week.
Yeah, that Homestead's a completely different kind of track.
It's wore out, ain't it?
It should be wore out. So, I think they run all over the racetrack down there. I like that track pretty good.
But they probably won't be no 2 tire changes.
Not likely, but we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. But it's going to be a completely different kind of race than what they had at
we'll have to leave it up to the engineers and crew chiefs that know a lot more than me and you
We'll just
right
go
now.
down there and just watch them run, okay? Yeah, definitely it is. He's a top car about everywhere they go. A lot of times he's maybe not the fastest, but he's always in the top 8 or 10, no matter where they run at. So, and this is the third race he's won this year. He definitely needs to be in the championship, right?
Yeah, they're famous for making stuff happen and getting good finishes and even wins. So that's big.
How many? Is a bunch. I guess the biggest one that I can remember is winning an 81 race at Daytona, where Bobby Allison was way the best car, and I was running a group of 3 or 4 cars that basically running about the same speed, and Bobby made the last pit stop, and got gas and tires, and then everybody else stayed out there. Okay, and when they came in, they changed tires and got gas, and And Dale kept saying, "Stay out, stay out, stay out." And then we come down pit road, and Dale said, "Gas only." So the strategy there was another gas race, I guess. And we wound up winning the race. In fact, coming off the fourth turn, the car ran out of gas. So anyhow, that's how close we figured that one.
Yeah, that was a big win, and of course, any Daytona is a big win because anytime your name is mentioned, Daytona. If you won Daytona, a Daytona winner, and Richard's won it 7 times. That's big. But that one, I don't know why, but where Richard remembers it or not. But I told him, I said, the tires are not wearing and they're not picking you up when we get new ones, and it was kind of a no-brainer. But we was the only one that used it, and he wound up winning a race.
Leaving, going home. Okay. I love Las Vegas to go maybe a day, 2 days at the most. But, it's great to go there, and you can enjoy it for a while. But to me, it gets to be old hat if you stay too long.
Yeah, we was in Riverside one time, and we'd never been to Vegas. And one evening after practice and qualifying at Riverside, we decided to go to Las Vegas, and I think it was 100 mile.
200.
Was it 200?
200 miles.
Oh, Lord. And Richard had a pretty fast Plymouth, and we went over there and seen all the lights, and I don't think we played any. I think we just rode around, seen the lights, and come home. And we made it kind of in record time. I ain't going to say how fast we run, but that's the first time I remember Vegas. And I've been there several times later on. Mary went a lot of time, my wife, and she enjoyed it. But it's always good to go, and it's always good to leave.